A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome to some more of the Vlog-A-Thon 5.0. Let's go ahead and dive back on down into a nice old familiar territory, which is this. Not just for the physical location that I'm in, but also with what I choose to do in terms of recording my episodes of the Vlog-A-Thon entirely. For this segment, let's go ahead and be as honest as possible. Not just in terms of what I do for HJN episodes, but also with reality as is. How I'm currently living is rather questionable. How my life is doing right now is somewhat mysterious. How I feel inside and out at an emotional, mental, or physical level is not necessarily of sound. And some people might ask why. I'd always come in with an answer, but I do feel like that I really need to have a lot more than just an answer ready for when people have these questions on their minds as they approach me. It's about time that I simply come up to them with a huge explanation. So with that in mind, let's just talk a few things about the many losses and what I need to cut from my life. First of all, these so-called celebrities, are they actually celebrities? Nah. They only use their fame, their fortune, to trick minors into thinking that they're good role models, when all of a sudden, bam! They get raped, molested, traumatized for life, scarred in their butts. Do I even know where to begin with that part? Not entirely. Because where do I even know how to start? Where do I even need to go with this? I can sure tell you that it is not a pretty sight or sound to ever talk about to anybody. But it's gotta. How else are we supposed to throw these guys in jail? How else are we supposed to give these people justice? How are they supposed to get what they deserve? After all these years, you would think that somebody would do something, take action. But hundreds of people now that have used their fame, their fortune, their social media followings, their money, their everything, their every possible resource that could ever be expended upon the world to lure people in, only to completely traumatize them and leave them with scars. They have to suffer with that for the rest of their lives. And it's not at all a freaking myth. It is an absolute fact. There is nothing that I could possibly do to make this stuff up. There is zero reason to ever put money on the line, to ever allow people to come up to you and tell them that they like them. Only to eventually meet up with them again in person, and then all of a sudden, they're being taken to a place where they can talk privately, and just like that, in only a few minutes' time, the child is now left with absolutely zero reason to even come out and speak, to even do anything about it. They have no understanding of this stuff. They have no possible reason for anything. They can't even bear the fact that what they just experienced was an unforgivable, unconscionable event in their lives. An adult rapes them. An adult violates them. An adult completely infringes on everything that they have. Your sanity, innocence, everything is lost. You don't have to live with such a horrible memory for the rest of your life. You cannot forget about something this bad. Oh, man. And last year alone, I really have to be honest as much of this as possible, was the absolute worst period to ever display any of this stuff. Celebrities of all kinds, if I really had to mention a few: R. Kelly, Dan Avidan of Game Grumps, Call Me Carson. Mostly social media influences that the only reason why they ever exist now is for these controversies that are just everywhere. Well, now that I feel like I've gotten that out of my system again, I feel a lot better. But it's not just these that I absolutely dread with all my life and all of my innocence, but it's everything else. I'm done here. See you next time, I guess.